Alright, welcome back. Last time, we finished the war with Louisiana and, by extension, France. And it's now over. I've grabbed, well, all of Louisiana's territories, plus all French Caribbean territories, including, well, Curaçao, also known as Curaçao, which was French Colombian, but, well, now it's mine, so... yeah. Of course, there's going to be a lot of unrest. That's a given. Plus, there were a lot of, centers of trade, specifically over here in the Caribbean. It's a bit absurd, but it works. Plus, dominant center of trade here. So I gained quite a few merchants in the process. It's nice. But yeah. With this, I should have a stronger hold of trade in the area, and hopefully my economy will improve, or well, my income will improve. Because I also picked up war reps from France. It's great. At the very least, will help with funding everything, because I'm having some trouble with monetary issues. If I don't end up making a profit this, or if I don't have a positive balance this year, I think I might start mothballing some forts in order to start actually making money again. I also noticed that there's constantly diseases popping up everywhere. Honestly, there's an epidemic every other year by this point. Maybe even more. And I just went ahead and eclipsed France again. I mean, at least this time Castile seems to be sticking around, at least for a little while. Okay. It's just hilarious, though. At least I find it that way. I think I'm just going to keep going with promoting the aristocratic faction. I need to keep them happy. And this seems to be the easiest way for me to do this. It doesn't improve relations much, but it does improve loyalty by a good amount. Plus, there is honestly little in the way that I can do to make them happy, because apparently the arranging a strategic marriage no longer applies. I'm not capable of using that interaction anymore. Which is annoying. It really is. Also, there's still none of that representative ideas. Do I need to have a very specific... do I need to have a Republican government for that, or... are there planned to be certain reforms? Because I've shifted some of these less useful reforms around. I don't really need these government reform points. They're not used for anything. Well, okay, they are used for something. Internal structure and regional military. But beyond that, they're not used for anything. I don't like giving the aristocrats power, though. On the other hand, it might get me more legitimacy, which I am in need of. And I'm definitely earning it faster than I would lose from disowning relatives, and the more I do that function, the better. Okay, fine. Let's get the nobles happy so I can have an easier time passing this really important reform. Okay, maybe not that important, but I would like to get it done sooner rather than later. Because eventually there's going to come a point where provincial corruption isn't going to isn't going to decrease anymore. State corruption is still something I need to look into, but that can be handled later. Especially since it's liable for the aristocrats to gain power constantly, so provincial corruption is no longer going to be increased by the bureaucrats being in power. But there's still some element of things I'm going to have to handle. It's just the way it is. However, it does seem that the price in Ireland for knowledge has decreased, which is good. Shows that my investments in higher education are starting to work. In fact, there's more higher education slots than were previously. Excellent. That means someone is investing into it. Seems like it's the residents themselves. Well, not necessarily. It depends on what's actually making money. Let's see here. Higher education is making a huge amount more money than religious education, simply because the literati aren't providing that much money. Though oddly, when I look into here, in the property section, for some reason the academic districts owned by the residents aren't making money. However, that might just indicate that it's new and it hasn't had the time to actually produce it. So it's probably higher education districts? I mean, it depends on how much there is. I would not be surprised if... Okay, 25.71. And there's 26.7, so... Of course, it could also be... Wait. How much higher education is there in total? 31. Almost 32. If I were to go here and add this up... Okay, that would be right. Okay, so the state owns 5.36 districts. Okay, so I do own a bit of religious education in there, apparently. But I definitely own some higher education. At least some. At least 4 units. It could be that instead of losing all of it, because districts not only get closed down when they're unprofitable, they may also be sold and change hands. I figure this happens most commonly with the state, because it's not just the price of maintenance that needs to be handled, it's also the fact that income is affected by provincial corruption, or at least the amount of income that is obtained, so it might not be worth it. Plus the state also needs to invest diplomatic points constantly in order to maintain property. And so the AI might decide that it might be better just to leave it and hand it off to someone else. Okay, so another problem is starting to come up. Specifically the Caribbean. It's only 5k separatists. But the Caribbean is an area with, okay, so there's a decent amount of local fortifications outside of a couple provinces. Still, let's send this fleet over to there. And continue handling Connacht. What is their foreign debt anyway? 500 ducats? I don't know. Mainly my interests involve raising their trust so that they might agree to a vassalization. Personally, I would be willing to let them have their independence for however long they want. I don't really care that much. I just wanted to ensure that they're under my control so I can indirectly rule over Ireland. It's a convenient location. And honestly, why not give the Irish something for them? Although I am keeping Ulster, that's mine. And I got it fair and square. Alright, grab tech. Okay, so, and here we are. Self-proclaimed monarchy. Yearly corruption minus 0.05. Oh, that's nice. Max centralization plus 5. Excellent, I've been needing that. As well as maximum resources size plus 2. 0.5%, probably. Steam locomotive. Okay, there's no effect. Surprising, isn't it? Triage. Military tactics plus 0.75. That's actually quite a bit. Where is my military tactics anyway? Ah, 4.79. Yep. Quite a bit. Land morale plus 0.3, cavalry shock plus 0.2. Enables lancers. Believe, yep, that's the last level of cavalry. Okay. There's one more infantry upgrade and one more artillery upgrade. I mean, the game is ending soonish, after all. There are, after all, only 66 years left in the game, just 2/3 of a century. Yeah, the game is ending. It's slow, but it's getting there. I don't need more innovativeness. All it's doing is giving me more national unrest. The only reason why I keep getting it is because I find the out-of-time buffs just more useful. Though it's nice to see that the corruption is going to improve more. State corruption, I mean. Even if not by that much. I'm also going to get another promoted culture. The problem is it worth it? Well, I doubt I'm going to go south, and the remaining cultures, like Danish, inside the New World, there's not much left. I probably should just pick some, well, the largest native culture, Decos. Would help keep the country more stable, on the other hand, allow me to convert those provinces. Especially since there's quite a few high dev ones, like this one, or this one, with Decos culture. Or heck, this one. That's unrelated. Yeah, going along down here. There's actually surprisingly few Techos culture provinces, but there's a lot of dev locked away and spread out. There's out of all the provinces, there's 3 with more than 30. And 3 more with at least 10, and then the last 2 provinces have 12 dev between them. It is a lot of dev though, and it's more than any other native culture. Nawa gets close, but it's not close enough. Plus, it's also a decently large concentration of Calvinist provinces, which are difficult to convert unless I have the correct culture. And the other large concentrations are the absolutely massive other cultures like Francian or Anglois or Castilian. There's also Catalan, but like I said, I'm going to get that soon enough. I'm kind of waiting to see if Aragon gets a bunch of debt. Because if something inconvenient for them happens, I might be able to invade without them intervening. While I would like for them to eventually intervene, I would personally prefer to take out some of their colonies first. Because there's not many Aragonese territories that I actually want that much. Like, there's a couple of Caribbean islands, but that's it. I was also considering maybe going up against Friesland. Oh yeah, right, they tried attacking Vajra Najara. Which is a horrifically stupid idea. And Bohemia is entirely unwilling to help. In fact, most of their allies are too. They just have a lot. Yeah, Europe seems to be in debt in general, outside of a couple of countries like Jülich. How's Jülich doing anyway? Actually, I probably should figure out where they are. Oh, they're this country. Okay. Heck, they have Liege as a subject state. Yeah, Friesland's actually doing pretty nice. They seem well on their ways to forming the Netherlands. I mean, there's Flanders, that's a problem. Oh, they're only 339 ducats in debt now. Looks like Connacht is improving. In fact, it might have to do with them trading with me. I'm sure their economy is going to have some idiosyncrasies compared to mine that are going to make certain things insanely profitable. Just as a matter of fact. Though I'm not sure what. At the very least, me trading with them is probably going to cause some things to go interestingly. Like, I'm sure they're going to have a logical lot of knowledge by this point. Just for me trading with them. Because in certain areas, it's going to be a lot cheaper. Yeah. Specifically my main sector. My home sector. Home node. Although, by this point, I am the Palmina node. Just like how I am the American West Coast node. I have all of the provinces there. Mexico is also true to a lesser degree, because if only because I don't have it all directly. It's indirect. Oh, and I can rival France again. I wonder how long that's gonna last. I mean, if I can farm power projection constantly from that, I don't care. Let's see, is there anything else I can do? Well, I think maybe... No, that hasn't expired yet. How long does the legitimacy thing last? 1792. Okay, so that lasts about 10 years, doesn't it? Oh yeah, I definitely earn more legitimacy. So long as I earn 5 and 10 years, which, well, in 10 years I earn about 14. Although there's also the fact that as I gain more legitimacy, my legitimacy gain reduces, so... Well, I've got lots of minor effects that are helping me out here, so... Oh, and I probably should do something like, I don't know, royal marriage with... Wait, I can't do that. Wrong religion. But I can influence them. It only costs 10.5 ducats. Okay, I forgot how large my income is compared to everyone else's. I have a surprisingly modernized state compared to everyone else. Well, except maybe China. But even then. Oh, and now that I look at the top... Oh, I have well overstepped. Whoops. I guess we'll do that one fight and then just end it. In fact, I might as well talk about what I've done. So, I've gone ahead and declared war on Novo-Lasitani. Yeah. I've also put down a couple of revolts, and I've also started working on bringing Connacht into the fold. Oh look! They have not successfully sieged down the province. Come on, pause. Right. So yeah, I've started working on bringing Connacht into the fold. I'm allying them and then repeatedly influencing them to build up trust. I don't find it that likely that I'll be able to get anything major done before the end of the game, but still, something to look forward to. Yeah, I decided to declare war on Novo-Lasitani because Aragon's debt has managed to get to the point where they're not willing to intervene. And honestly, I have looked at quite a few interesting countries to potentially declare war on in the future, and a surprising quantity of Europe is in debt. And I mean surprising quantity of Europe. Right, let me just... Okay, keyboard's back under control. Okay. Yeah, there's a surprising amount of Europe that's in a heavy level of debt. I mean, Bohemia's in 4,000 ducats of debt. France has no debt, which is terrifying. Same with Castile. But Aragon has 5,000 in debt. Connacht has... well, 150. They're improving, and surprisingly rapidly. I figured they had trouble with their war with Vijayanagara, and also the fact that because I'm allied to them and have much better relations with them, they're reaping the benefits of my economy. Greatly reaping the benefits. Otherwise, why would they have their army now be 20k? It used to be a lot smaller. Now it's a good bit bigger. Of course, I will say this. It's unlikely, as I've said, for them to really agree to vassalizing with me, unless their military reduces in size or mine increases, or something interesting happens to their economy. But their income has improved greatly since allying with me. Though not their development, I will say that. I do not see any changes in development. But yeah, it seems they have greatly improved their income, thanks to trade with me. Oh well. That's really not in any way bad. I've also just stacked White Novo-Lasitani, which helps. So yeah. I've also been working on improving relations with the nobility, though this will take time, especially since the only easy interaction is to give them lots and lots of faction influence, which is wonderful. I don't like doing that, but oh well. In addition, a lot of provinces have been slowly losing separatism, which is great. Some provinces are actually doing pretty well with regards to unrest. Sure, some of them might just be from recent uprising, and that's going to disappear eventually, like this province is going to lose it in 4 years. And separatism will not decay enough for that to disappear. Still, that does show progress. Though, there's still some unrest. Especially in some provinces that have quite a bit of it. Though I'm not sure where... Okay, it's this province. This province is going to have separatists pretty soon. Not separatists, fanatics pretty soon. Sure, it's going to be a tiny quantity of 2k. And fort level 1. So as soon as they take attrition damage, it's not going to be a problem anymore. But still, I'd much rather... Yeah, they not come up. But again, most of these separatists aren't actually a problem. For some reason, there are no more Mexican separatists. Apparently all the Francian provinces that are important just don't have unrest because of recent uprising, garrison, etc. I mean, no one's sown discontent recently, at least as far as I remember. So that's at least a good thing. Well, there's not exactly that much I can do, though. I mean, if I'm gonna get rid of them, I probably should remember to steal maps before anything else. I mean, it's a great opportunity to see what's going on in the Great Lakes. I assume Aragon of all, well, the Aragonese colonies of all places know a lot about it. I might actually do that now. 29 provinces, okay. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Excellent. I mean, it's nothing that I wasn't expecting. Still, it's good to be able to see and hear and know exactly what's going on and how the provinces are shaped and whatnot. Especially since in most bouts of M&T, the New World that I play, the New World is an afterthought more than anything. And here, it's the center, the focal point of my focus. The focal point of the campaign. My goal is to annex everything. I want to see how that works out. I will be able to core everything in one fell swoop, though. Okay, so that's going to take some time. And I can't really demand anything other than money. Of which I can demand 190 ducats. I guess. I mean, the whole peace deal is going to disappear. Because it's only saved inside the session. Leaving the game, yeah. Still, it's not going to be that hard. I just need to get in there, assist my subject in their sieges and ensure that nothing dangerous appears, etc. I'm going to annex the subject eventually as well. Anyway, I've gone on for long enough. The economy's improving again, or at least my balance. And I've put some attention to areas that might need it. Anyway, I'll see you again next time. Until then, bye. Yeah, I really overstepped the bounds, didn't I? Stop paying attention to the time.